Now that we've gotten a taste of the local amenities and what the area has to offer, let's head back to the river and see what Rob has to serve up. Now, what are the trout like here? I know that, I was reading that these are completely wild streams now.
Yep.
And when did they stop stocking this?
Well, originally they were introduced, it used to be all brook trout in here back.
Right, and that's your native trout.
Exactly. Long time ago, all brook trout. And then they were slowly introduced. Mainly they came with the logging. All of these roads that we're walking along right now used to be railroad beds, and they used to log all of this. And they would set up camps, and from that kind of evolved little sport camps. And then people started introducing rainbows and browns for their own little entertainment.
And carrying them up in pails and letting them go.
Absolutely. And over time, not only did the logging damage the brook trout's habitat,
right,
but those introduced fish, the rainbows and browns, outcompeted them for food. And
well, they're just more aggressive.
Much more aggressive. And then the brookies kind of got pushed further and further and further up in the headwaters. And then, people continued to stock the rainbows and browns, and finally the Park Service wanted to fulfill their mission of keeping everything natural, so they wanted the rainbows and browns gone, just brook trout.
So they go through an eradication process, which is controversial in itself. And
yeah, I think before that even they just assumed that they would, once they quit stocking, they would go away. So then they had a nice problem, which is the rainbows and browns started reproducing,
right,
and have been since the 70s. So you've got a pure wild trout fishery.
So here we are 35 years later, and we have a pure population of native rainbows. Well, I shouldn't even say native, but wild rainbows and browns.
Absolutely. So like I say, good problem to have, but the Park Service still wants to see more brook trout, and there is that slow process of...
Now, is there a hybridization problem with the rainbows and the brooks?
Doesn't seem to be. The only real issue has been they want to make sure they have a pure strain of Appalachian brook trout.
Right.
So
now you guys call those speckles, right?
Call them, yep, specks is what you'll hear the locals call them. But they basically are trying to find streams with natural barriers that the rainbows and browns
can't get over,
can't get above,
right,
and then they'll get all the rainbows and browns out of that section, reintroduce it with pure strains of specks.
Right.
And
now, is that a hatchery program here? Or
it's not. They're taking them out of other streams.
Okay, so it's just a transplant.
Yep. So they're still very pure fish.
Even better, yeah.
And then they'll close that stream for anywhere from 2 to who knows how many years until they can...
That's those blue line streams.
Yep.
That I keep hearing about. Yeah, I was looking on a map trying to figure out, what's around here. And I came across a stream on the map that was outlined in blue. And I was out talking down to Byron at the shop, and he goes, "It's a blue line. You can't go there."
That's right.
Like, okay, but what I'm used to is blue means water. He goes,
right.
It's good water. They don't want you in it to screw it up.
That's right. Keep out.
Right. So blue is bad.
Well, and a lot of those have just been reopened here in the last 5 years or so that had been closed for near 20 years.
So you've got some pure strains of high elevation, really spooky trout that are just notoriously hard to catch now.
Absolutely, and you got to hike forever to get to them, so it takes a real glutton to want to go after those guys. But
maybe we'll have to come back later in the season during the fall and check that out.
Absolutely, they're a lot of fun. You want to give it a go?
No, go ahead. I get to watch and learn.
We're gonna have some great dry fly water up ahead. Usually, anyway. 2 weeks ago, had 6 inches of snow at elevations as low as 2,300 feet.
That is
just
that's unheard of in April.
Yeah, it's been a really strange spring.
I shouldn't say unheard of, but I know it's been cold out here, and I know it's affected the fishing, but we're doing pretty well today. I've been happy with this.
Yeah, can't complain.
Nah.
Go out on a cool spring day and find a few trout, especially a few that'll come up to a dry fly.
So you got that red copper john, the big Prince nymphon?
Got a zug bug up top.
Zug bug? Mm-hmm. That's a good all-arounder.
Zug bug's got a little size to it for something a little bigger that might want to grab on. I think I jumped the gun on that one.
He had it in his mouth, it looked like.
I'm not sure which one he took. I think he took the bottom one. Little red copper John.
Nice little fish.
Well, hold still, fish. There we go.
He's feisty.
Another little smoky rainbow.
Pretty little fish.
He's gonna hang there right by our foot.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I believe that one's on the copper John. That's a little bigger fish.
That's a good looking fish there.
He's not a giant, but a little bigger than the last.
Well, you say they're smaller out here, but there are a lot of them.
Absolutely. Pretty fish too. He's got some nice colors.
Yeah, he does. That is beautiful. Nice lip take on that one too.
Yeah, that was a little more friendly. That's the way we like it.
That is beautiful.
Those white tar marks there.
Mm-hmm.
You ready to go swim away there, Mr. Trout? And I'm just starting to see a fair number of yellow bugs. I've got a little yellow parachute Adams. Might just do the trick.
Let's do it.
These fish rarely see big enough hatches to where they just get keyed in on a real specific pattern, but a lot of times just a little color difference will make all the difference in the world. Oh, I think you're onto something now.
Yeah, we are. These are real fast fish.
Hit it again.
Man, I'm gonna have to scoot up a little bit. That
Probably
line's,
a good idea. Any little additional bit of slack in the line, anything
that line's
like
getting
that.
just a bit of a bend in it right here. If I could stay behind this rock, I think I could hide from them. Give me a little break from the current.
Starting to think like a fish.
You have to here. Come back here. Where are we going? Where are you going? There we go. Come here.
He's not super long, but he's chunky.
He's been around a little while. It's a nice little rainbow.
Little Smoky Mountain rainbow right there.
Let's let him go away. There he goes. He was ready to go home. Rob had a great time.
I did as well.
Absolutely. Man.
That was a great time. We had a little cold front come in, but we still managed some fish despite all the...
We did see him, and I will attest, Smoky Mountain trout are tough.
They absolutely are. If you can catch them here, you can catch them anywhere.
Well, I got us a couple. You smoked me. I'll be honest.
Well, I've fished here a few more times than you have.
Absolutely. I say let's do it again another time.
Absolutely. The sooner the better.
All right, sounds good. Let's try and get us a couple more.
Let's do it. As he falls in. That would have been a classic for the blooper reel there.
Yeah.